Hi, everybody. We are going to be talking about Synergy today. Synergy was added to the game back in 2009 as an additional option for crafters and provide a way for other crafts to interact with each other. What this means is you can max out Synergy to level 80 with or without another craft capped out to 110. There are some Synergy recipes that don't require additional crafts at all. You can find the majority of them being the login items. To start Synergy, you need to talk to any of the Synergy engineers to obtain a Synergy Crucible. Please note that this is a key item and only needs to be obtained once. These engineers can also refuel your fuel called fuel. Now let's talk about actual Synergy crafting because it is completely different than normal crafting. To start crafting, you need
Uh,
to.
Claire, why don't you let somebody with actual synergy skill talk about this part?
Okay.
When starting synergy, you talk to one of the many synergy furnaces. This will indicate that you have to claim that furnace. SC did this on purpose and will make complete sense after this explanation. After claiming the furnace, any single person in a party can submit items into their furnace for their craft. Example of this is when I was making Phodia belts for many people on Asura, they would place their belts into the furnace to be made. Once the items are submitted, the furnace will pop up the final item to confirm that the craft that you're wanting to complete, plus the elemental values needed. The elemental values are very important here. If you are having somebody that has the synergy making an item for you, please let them know the values. Once confirmed, the lid will lower on the furnace, indicating the start of the synergy process. Unlike crafting, where you have to watch a crystal, roll the dice for success, high quality, and failure, you have to play a mini game with the furnace. Anyone in the party can help with this process. It's really annoying when they do because it can mess up with the crafter's flow, unless of course they know what they're doing. Using the elemental fuel to increase the elemental value based off of the recipe is how you start the process. You want the elemental value to be as close to what the recipe requested for a higher chance of high quality. Be careful though, as you increase an element, one element decreases. For example, if you add fire fuel, the fire value increases, but the ice value decreases, even going into the negatives. As you add more fuel, you also have a chance of a HQ feed, which provides more of that specific element for free. This is called elemental surge. There are also leaks that can occur, and you have to repair. These leaks cause specific elements to decrease the value while the leak is occurring. To stop the leak, you must supply the opposite element. For example, if fire starts leaking, your furnace will need to use water to stop the leak. How do you know if it is leaking? The game will give you a message, but also the furnace will glow the same color that element that is leaking. If you're worried about a leak occurring, you can use the option to operate pressure handle to reduce the chance of the leak from occurring. As you put in more fuel, you will notice that your impurities increase as well. The higher the impurities, the higher chance you have to overload your furnace. Overloading will cause the furnace to explode, dealing damage to party members and apply a status effect. The status effect varies depending on the element that explodes and can slow down how you operate the furnace. There are multiple ways to prevent an overload from occurring. Prior to an overload, you can operate safety lever to reduce the impurities and the likelihood of an explosion. This does use a massive amount of dark fuel, though. Once you see an overload start, you can quickly thwack furnace in order to prevent it from exploding. Sadly, this is a crappy option and barely ever works. I will give you a super secret trick, though. The furnace will never explode if the impurities are 30% or lower. Zero chance. Once you hit 30, operate the safety lever and simply drop it to zero. No explosions ever! While processing through your craft, the health of the furnace decreases. Think of this as like a crafting timer. The moment it hits zero, your craft will end, but not as a finished product, but as a failure. If your furnace explodes, it deals damage to the furnace as well as all party members in range. The only way to restore HP of your furnace is by utilizing the repair option. Otherwise, go crazy and hope you finish the recipe in time. Oh, which the game will also give you cues and when you know your item is ready. If the item is blurry, you are close to not fully synergized. If the item, quote, image is taken form and the furnace begins to shine, your crafting is complete. But the player that traded the item needs to end the synergy to turn it off. The crafter, the one who's actually doing the feeds, cannot end it. If you wait too long, the image can become blurry or no longer be the correct values due to the leak starting. It is important to pay attention. If you are amazing, you can get a smooth synergizing result, and you have the values as close to the recipe as possible. This means you have a chance at high quality of the synth. High quality thresholds are within +2 of any element needed in the recipe. +3 is okay if you only need normal quality or the recipe doesn't have a high quality option. Should Autona smile upon you and you have every number perfectly aligned, you'll have a 50% chance for HQ. The more complex the recipe, the more unlikely you can do this. Once your crafting is done, talk to the furnace and obtain your item. This is important as you do not automatically get the item, and you must talk to the furnace to obtain it.
So, in a nutshell, synergy is talk to the furnace, give the furnace the goods, hit accept, feed the furnace elemental food based off of the recipe, look for shinies, tell the furnace it was a good furnace, get your item out of the furnace, and be on your way.
Swipe left, Sun Q text, dinners, walks on the beach. Barving in the background.
Okay. I hope this helps anyone trying out Synergy for the first time.
Wait, don't forget to talk to the Synergy engineer to refill your fuel between crafts. There is more nuance in it, and Synergy is extremely cheap and easy to level up, but this is a short, I think.
Bye bye.